Hey, greetings everyone, it's GleeCon, and I'm back again. I am bringing you another episode of Lore of Warcraft. On our last episode, we read the penultimate chapter of the War of the Scaleborn. Iridikron is captured, and all we have left to do is a final chapter to wrap up that story. We've also been playing through World of Warcraft Classic, finishing up the Wetlands zone. It's an Alliance-only zone. We've been doing it with Millie here, Maleficent, all on her own. And we're going to finish this one off, I think, today. So stay a while and listen as she jumps in. Last time we started off by kind of killing some Dragonmaw orcs and doing finishing off the ghost quest. But then before we got into the real rest of it, we ended up needing to take her out and did some breadcrumbs over to Dustwallow Marsh and set her up with some mage stuff. So what's left? Well, we have the ending of the Dragonmaw orcs, which is what we're going to get to right now. And we also have the quests. There's a couple quests, interesting ones, at the Thandol span. So I am hoping that we can do some of these. They are interesting, but this one is Nekrosh's Gambit. We're supposed to go kill a catapult, destroy a catapult, and then I think we'll have to fight Nekrosh himself. We'll turn in this Fall of Dunmodra. I have no idea what old Rustlock is in the Thandol span. We'll have to check that one out. So yeah, I actually don't know. It says it's a 31 elite quests. I guess we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. And then there are these two, Sullybaloo's Letter and McCreel's Moonshine. Yeah, so I'm excited. I've also, after this run, so in a couple episodes, we're going to start the massive 20-episode quest, which is going to mean that I have to run 27 dungeons. 3 dungeons with 9 characters. And we're spreading it out over 20 episodes, so there's a lot that's going to be happening off camera because there is, if you take 27 dungeon runs, and each of those has a before and an after portion in the questing as well. So you take 3 dungeons, that's 6 more per character, 6 more kind of sets of things I have to do. 6 times 9 is 54. So 54 and 27 is 81. So I have 81 chunks of time I have to spend off camera. It's a bit much. Now, I did start this yesterday because it's such a long journey. I was like, I gotta get going now. I did take Erator and run him through all the pickup of Nomergon, and he actually ran Nomergon yesterday. Nomergon is by far of the 3 dungeons we're going to do. Even if you count the Scarlet Monastery, Graveyard, and Library together, Nomergon is the longest one, and Alliance Nomergon is chock full of quests. I actually haven't run Alliance through Razorfen Downs anytime in my classic playing, so that's something that may or may not happen off camera before, but probably not. My wife and I have been really slow grinding. We're about to run. Actually, we will. I probably will do it soon because there's some pickup quests to do. Now, we actually have the hardest horde pickup quests for Scarlet Monastery are actually already done because it's the tests of lore that take you there. So we've actually already done those. So we'll recap those. Which means I want to do the turning in and the questing through those dungeons with either Mullen or Varrock, because I believe those are the 2 that actually did all those in the Thousand Needles. But yeah, there's some stuff to do there. And I think it also takes you into Stone Talon Mountains. But Alliance has a ton more quests to pick up when you do Nomergon. A ton. They're not hard to pick up. It's just hard to do. And then the Nomergon dungeon itself, if you are Horde, it's very simple. But there's 2 things that make it annoying. The Fine Mess and Grime Encrusted Ring quests. So the Find Mess is annoying, not because the quest is actually hard or hard to get to. It's not. It's pretty straightforward. It's an escort quest found near the beginning of the dungeon. The problem is that there is a glitch and the quest itself bugs out and either makes it impossible to complete, or it makes it unturn-inable, or sometimes the guy doesn't even spawn and you can't pick up the quest. So there is a chance we're going to be kind of screwed on that quest. The benefit would be that we get to run it, 9 times. So hopefully and it's not different. Horde and Alliance, it's the same quest. The turn-in's probably a little different. Actually, I think the turn-in's the same because I think you turn it into Ratchet. Could blink out of here. I really needed to, but so yeah, that's gonna be something. But even worse is the grime encrusted ring. That is such a freaking annoying quest. First of all, the quest chain itself is if you can even get the quest, it's annoying. So you have to get a random drop. So it's a drop quest within a dungeon. So right off the bat, red flags are going up. If you get the quest to drop, then you have to take it back to the little machines that clean. Okay, that's not that bad. Then that guy's gonna aggro onto me. Oh, thank goodness. Then you also have to you get this ring. Then you bring the ring to, it's like a green ring, it's nothing special. Then after you get it, you can get another quest to basically refine the ring, and it requires a lot of materials from various professions that you most likely will not have all of them on your own, so you're gonna have to go to the auction house and then return it in, and then it turns into a pretty solid blue ring. Not an automatic upgrade, not that level, but I've got a new set of water that she can summon, but unfortunately it's really good. It fills up her water quite nice, but it only summons 2 at a time, so it's kind of sort of annoying. So that one we're gonna have to play by ear, because the main issue is it only drops from the Dark Iron Dwarves. The Dark Iron Dwarves are the mobs that appear at the very end of the dungeon. They're annoying to kill because they constantly drop landmines. None of my characters are equipped to solo those mobs. When I did the quest originally with my wife, we ended up having to run. When we did it with the Horde, we ended up having to stay and fight. There's the catapult we have to destroy, so we gotta fight our way there. We ended up having to stay and fight our way when we did it the first go-round on Horde. Over and over and over again until we finally got it. It was really hard. I think we essentially waited for the mobs to respawn and then came in there and did it again. It was not fun. And then we had to run the dungeon at least twice. This is tough. This thing is really jam-packed with dudes. Let's see what we can get going here. So, that was nice. Crit at least. Okay. They are hitting me. I don't like that. Okay. Okay, so that guy... Yikes. He's gonna hit me, so we're gonna see what we can do. I might have to drop a potion. Because I don't have the great... whatchamacallit, okay, we got him. Time to eat and drink, because we're cutting it close. That was killing 2 mobs. Now I see that there are warlocks over there. The warlocks, for some reason these warlocks are like melee. I think they drop a curse. But they have those skeletons with them as well. So we gotta, and the key really here is going to be fighting and beating these guys before they respawn. And I'm carving this straight line. It does make me worry a little bit. Okay, so we're going to try it again. I do think they will run over with their skeleton. Let's see if he brings any mobs with him. No, so we are good on that. Okay, so he is automatically running. So it's really just a matter of fighting the skeletons, which are weaker. So that actually went okay. I'm just going to be spamming these skeletons. Probably, I don't know. They're tough. As you can see, they won't run either. Usually undead don't run. Okay. They give you some XP, which is good. Okay. So we're going to do the same go round again. I think we could probably beat it without using any resources. Now, will he bring that mob with him? He did. This guy's also level 28. Good. So we're going to go ahead and... I'm not worried about the skeleton as much. I'm worried about that guy. I think I'm going to have to... Okay, I pushed the wrong button. Yep, I'm going to drop a potion here. Because I think that's what I need to do to survive. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, so we got that guy. That was a little tough, but I think I can beat this skeleton. Even though he's getting me pretty heavy. Okay. So that was a little tough because we had to beat the guy, we had to beat his mob, and his little minion, and we had to beat another guy, and they're all level 28. So now the trick is we've cut our way in. Something was making me bleed or curse or something, but now the trick's going to be getting in there before they start to respawn. We've pretty much cleared it. There is one raider, but I think we might be okay. Okay, so now we're going to really... don't really need that, but we're really going to be trying here. Okay, so
It's too far
I can now... The first catapult is before you. Will you set it aflame? You place some of the tinder onto the catapult and strike a spark to it. The flame erupts and quickly spreads. Now that the catapults have been burned, find and kill the chieftain Nekrosh. So if you look, it doesn't really say anything about him. It just says find and kill him. But it doesn't... Now he's a 32 elite? Oh, he's way down there. Because he is a 32 elite. I don't know if we'll be able to beat him. So I guess we'll fight our way through. I didn't realize the dude himself was going to be an elite, so that's a little bit painful. But we'll see what we can see. We might be able to, with using all the tricks up our sleeves and potions and mana and all that stuff, we might, if we can get him away from mobs, we might be able to take him out. I don't know if we can kite him and stuff. Possible. That's all I can say, is it is possible. It's going to depend on how many mobs are around him and what his overall, like, skill set is. Especially since I'm nothing special, you know. Other than the fact that we're cute little Millie here, but I did not realize this was going to be a wind up with a 32 elite quest. We might need some help, but that's okay. She's not in a guild. She was kicked. I think we already established that a couple episodes back. Yeah. So when I did it with Erator yesterday, I had a good group. Solid run. Everybody was patient. We wanted to accomplish all quests, and they even wanted to do the quests. We went back and we killed every single mob, every single Dark Iron Dwarf that you can kill. The problem is that a lot of them glitch out. They'll like get up on the whatchamacallit, like the walls, And then it makes it to where it's kind of like impossible to kill him. Okay. Alright, I gotta eat some bread as we continue to work our way back in here. And then I also gotta conjure up some more spring water. Getting low. So I'll see in the area. Just in case there's anyone around here. I'll put it out there. That way I've already started the hunt, because I won't say no to help. But, oh heck yeah. Did we get lucky and someone's right there? What are they? Cool. Alright, so okay, my spelling was bad, end caps were bad, but okay. Alright, so here's a Shadowcaster. That guy's on the way, so look, we have a helper. With two of us, we should be able to do it, I hope. Okay, so this is a straight Shadowcaster, so it's a different type of mob. Don't need tough leather armor. So where is he? There he is. So he is chock full of mobs around him. But that's fine. I love it when I hit a nice juicy crit like that. So that's good that we found someone. Oh, he interrupted me. He did get me with the shield slam.
It's too far away.
Okay, so we got him. Dang it.
I need to get closer.
Let's see, we should hopefully be able to beat this guy, considering I have the dampen magic on. I should be able to out DPS him, even though he is 29. He is hitting me pretty hard. Yikes. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat. Forgot to bring my water up. He said he's on his way, so he's almost here. Yeah, now here's where it's gonna get to be tricky, because these guys are... There's a guy, we can get him. Okay, so let's get him off. Phrasing. The Centurion. I vaguely remember doing this quest, but I did it with my wife, and we are, you know, we're a little bit OP. I'm worried he's gonna hurt me, interrupt me, but he didn't. Alright, cool. So we got these guys, that's good. Got some wool. Okay, so now we gotta be a little bit clever on how we do this. If I want to try to pull these people around. Let's see. A little worried. Maybe if I pull over from here, let's see what we can get. I don't know. I'm worried that if we end up pulling a crap ton. Okay, we only pulled 2. Okay. Okay, so got that one. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and blink out a little bit. Pop a potion. Okay, I don't really worry. Okay, cool. So they ran. Now that should make him despawn. I shouldn't even use the potion, but I have a little bit of a surplus right now. So cool. He despawned. That means I can go right just after the Centurion. Okay, so that's good. Oh man. Crap. Nope. Man, when you blink like that, that's painful. So that, and the problem there being, I think when you blink and there's like a difference in the verticality. That messes it up a little bit. Okay, so he killed somebody over there. There's my new partner. Okay. So let's get some. Let's clear this guy out. And basically, he's got some water going. I'll put some buffs on him. I'm gonna reapply this buff to myself, and then I need to eat and drink. Okay, so that's good. This thing is a pain. I'm just glad that this guy also wanted to do it. Because now that I'm watching it, like, it's going to be hard for us to even clear the things out. To try to do this on my own with a mage, this an elite 2 levels above me, that would have been a little tough. Alright, so what do we got here? We could try this guy. Oh, no, he went for the Centurion. Why would you send your pig in there, bro? There goes him. Okay, so now we went after... okay, so I sheeped the other guy, the Shadowcaster getting us. Okay, so that's... Then things... As long as I can keep him sheeped, I think we'll be okay. I do have the Enervate I can do, and I have the Mana Crystal as needed. Oh yeah, heck yeah. Heck yeah, baby. Okay, cool. Okay, so we got what we needed, which is great. That was great. Okay, cool. So I don't know what they're going to do, but they're running out. I'm going to tell them, because he says the Thandol span thing. I mean, I'll request it too. If it's another quest, I can maybe get him or somebody else. Or it's a 31 elite, but that was good. So we pulled that one off. It's possible that I could. I mean, we had the pet tanking, so it would have been a lot harder to get the space needed to kite that guy effectively. Not to say that I couldn't have done it without Enervate, I mean Evocation, and Mana Agate. I didn't even look and see what time we started. I usually send my wife a text that says I'm going incommunicado when she's at work. So I sent that one 25 minutes ago. But normal, I might have been setting that up as I was setting up the camera and everything. And the past few days I've been having an issue where my audio bugs out and I have to deconnect it and then reconnect it before it will work. But those are lessons learned over experience of doing this show for over 2 years, over 1,200 episodes. Because it used to happen all the time where I wouldn't run a testing session. I do like a mic check, testing, record. I run like a 15-second video. I do that every time, and it's worth it because it allows me to check my levels and then also hear the playback. It just allows for all kinds of things because you guys have no idea how many times I've made an entire episode and then realized I have to make the whole thing again. Luckily, that was more often in the beginning of the show, so it was more often with reading. So there are some chapters of some books I've read. There's one that it messed up a couple, two or three times. I think it's in one of the, maybe Sylvanas, one of the chapters of Sylvanas. I had to read like 3 times, and it was very sad for me. to try to conjure up like emotion and do the voices, and oh my gosh, it's nightmarish. It's happened once or twice with gaming, not with WoW. By the time I started playing WoW Classic, I think we were good. But I think maybe with like Warcraft 3, it happened once or twice, and so I had to run a mission, maybe Warcraft 1 or 2, and I had so a couple different times I had to run a mission more than once. But like if it happened on World of Warcraft, we'd be screwed because I can't redo it. I think if nothing else, I don't know what I would do. I guess I could. A lot of the times it's the audio that's broken. So I could post a quiet video. I may have done that once. I don't remember. Or I could post... One time I did it where it didn't record or something. And I think what I ended up doing was recording just watching myself play and recorded the audio. So now that we're talking about, how the sausage gets made here. These kind of things happen and they're annoying. I was talking with my guild members about like Asmongold today and about streaming, and did like a shameless plug where they're like, we like Asmongold, blah, blah, blah. And I was, he's an acquired taste. There's parts about them they don't like. And it was a debate, but generally pretty positive. And I have to say, like, and I mentioned this on the show, like when I first listened to Asmongold, I was like, I don't get it. He's not enjoyable to me. And everybody has their own taste, like whatever. But as I've listened to him more, he's kind of grown on me. And I can, now that I've gotten deeper in, I've been recording and, making a stab at trying to get my numbers up to where I can get 1 penny or whatever a year by getting 1,000 subscribers. I've tried. I have a little bit more of appreciation for what people do, and I can understand some of the technical sides a little bit. And he is good. He is good about diversifying his content, because you don't want to strap yourself up to one game. One, it might get boring, and you might run out of content depending on what you want to do. Although, look at us. We're over 2 years in, and there is no end in sight. This show could easily run... Because I think I did the math, and if we kept at the same pace we're going, it's going to take us a couple more years, which gives us a whole nother expansion. And even if we blow through Classic, but we're going to be doing Classic at a low clip, So it'll take us to get through the Classic Wrath of the Lich King content. That'll probably... So we're probably looking at 4 years of content between the books and everything before we get to a spot where we are, and that's not, then we can go over to Cataclysm, and then it reboots. Now, once you get past Cataclysm, it'll go much faster, and I think we can clear every zone, clear every expansion, probably 2 to 3 expansions a year, once you get past Cataclysm. And then, we'll have Legion, whatever, they're all taking different things, but even so... And then they keep coming out more, so it would be quite some time. And then, oh man, we would have, that many years later, there's just other things you could do with the show. We can get more creative and basically never stop. We could make achievement hunters, we can make hardcore, we could do season of discovery, we could do turtle wow. There's just so many things that we can do.
No.
Have you killed Necrosh?
Stoutly done, adventurer. You have dealt a telling blow to the Dragonmaw Orc clan.
But
they may never recover, and the destruction of those catapults has made Menethil Harbor safe. You are a person of merit, and the Kingdom of Ironforge rewards those who serve it well.
Great. So, decent quest, couple thousand XP. We got an Ancient War Sword. I'm sure we can sell that for a pretty penny, considering she's... only got a couple gold right now. She could use it. Yeah, so she is actually... Oh, Erator. So Erator did do it, and I haven't even... He hit 33 in doing Nomergon. But what I wanted to say on that, before I cut myself off, as I like to do and meander with my thoughts, he everything was fine. We did all the quests except he couldn't get the ring. We cleared the whole thing, and what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna go crazy about it. My hope is I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna get it with at least one person on Alliance and one person on Horde. And when we do the turn-ins, we'll pop over to whoever has it, and we'll run through at least the majority of the content. Ideally, this is something that happens on camera for us. So when we run it, like Millie's going to do it on camera. But Eric, so I made a little plan for myself. So I kept my ducks in a row, so we don't retread content and everything. So we basically, like I said, we have about 10 episodes per faction. So for Nomergon, which with Alliance we have 5 characters, so that's 2 episodes per character. So we're gonna have Maleficent. Well, Erator is going to do, because I like the idea of him doing Scarlet Monastery, because he's a paladin. So we're gonna have him do the Scarlet Monastery library, because that's the bigger of the 2 parts, and we'll have him do the turn-in quests. So from a lore perspective, it'll be kind of fun for him. So that means everything else he's got to do off camera. Nessingwary is my least, probably of my characters, my least favorite to run. So we're going to, or second to least, it's a tie between him and Callie. And I can't remember where I landed, but either he or Callie, whichever one. I kind of like the idea of Callie doing the Scarlet Monastery part of it as well. So Callie could say maybe do the graveyard and the pickup for the Scarlet Monastery. Then that leaves us with that whole dungeon done. Millie's going to run the Nomergon dungeon and do the turn-in because she's a gnome. So that could leave us with, I think Nessingwary is going to do the Nomergon pickups because he's at least from the area. So it'll be somewhat lore adjacent. And then he could be one of my characters that don't even do a quest, so he could also do Razorfen Downs pickup, whatever there is. And then that leaves Shalacir, since she's more of our Kalimdor character. She could run Razorfen Downs and then turn the quests in from it. And that leaves most likely Nessingwary out in the cold on this one, but whatever. Now from the Horde, since we only have 4 characters, they all get to run a dungeon, and it's a little bit different. 2 of the characters will have 3 episodes to cover that missing slot. So that means that for 2 of our dungeons, we can have someone run the whole darn thing. So Talanji, for instance, could be one of our 2, and I think that's how I have it. She's going to do the whole of Nomergon. She's going to pick up, she's going to do Nomergon, and she's going to turn in. So she'll experience that. And I did that because the quests are very minimal for Horde, but she's an engineer. So at least we'll get to see an engineer's take on running Nomergon. And then for the Scarlet Monastery, the pickups have got to either be Varrock or Muln. And I would let them both just split it, except for the fact that Farinel is a Teristful character, so he kind of should go to the monastery also. And the other quests are Razorfen Downs. So Razorfen Downs lends itself to being someone doing all on their own. So we could do that, say, with Varrock. And that allows us to have him tank a dungeon, which is nice. Farinel's probably my least favorite one to do it, so we could have Farinel, say, pick up the Scarlet Monastery quests other than the one that we already did for the lore, and run Graveyard. He also has some Warlock quests he's got to do in terms of getting demons and stuff like that. So he's actually, he might extend us out an episode. Another thing, I've got all this great plan as far as days, and I try to map out days as best as I can. Almost a whole gold on that. But I know it's futile because life gets in the way, and life will get in the way. And particularly, life is going to get in the way for me because this week I am going to try my freaking darndest, because I usually allow myself 1 day a week off. I'm going to try my darndest not to take any days off of making the show. because next week is going to be very. Over the next 2 weeks after this week, there's just no way around it. I'm gonna miss days. So I have my son is in a band, a symphonic band, and they're doing a like a competition. It's like the most important concert of the year. They play a concert. They also play in front of judges. They get judged one-on-one. It's an ordeal. My wife works. She can't make it. And I'm friends with his band teacher. She lives like a street away from us. I've known her for a long time. So, and her son is a great kid, and he's friends with my son. Well, she's asked me to take as many of the instruments as I can fit in my truck. Which means I gotta work all day, then drive to another city, stay there, go, take her, then take her back and unload so I'm not gonna get home until like probably 11 o'clock midnight on a work night. So there's no way I'm making it out.
A brave adventurer sends word from Menethil. Ah, adventurer they call you. You bring hope to a hopeless situation. 'Tis good news indeed that young Harlow survived. While fleeing, he received a grievous wound. We had but little time to send him on his way on the back of the only surviving steed with the regiment. But now we face
That's the guy that was face down.
Thandol has fallen, and we are but a shadow of the great regiment we once were.
Alright, so that's just a breadcrumb, but it's worth 1,000 XP. That's pretty good for a breadcrumb. Now, what we need is this one.
A tremendous explosion roared through the hills. 'Twas horrible, I tell you! Good soldiers died defending the Thandol span. Longbraid says we'll take revenge on the Dark Irons before all is said and done. We're in a world of hurt, though, and I don't see any reinforcements in sight. Longbraid sent old Rustlock to scout the eastern bridge to see if we could secure it. That was days ago.
Oh, I remember
We haven't
this.
the manpower to search for him with Dunmoder under siege. Perhaps you can find him.
Alright, so I do kind of remember this quest. It's a multi-part thing. He has a corpse, and then I think it sends us over here to kill. We might be able to do this. I'm not sure. We're going to see. This is the one question mark we really have, and then we have these two right here, which I'd like to be able to try to finish. We're getting a little bit dicey on time. But not impossible. This is definitely the difficult thing, is finding out. So I actually think his body's underwater, now that I think about it. So yeah, if you look, like, he's not here. I'm pretty sure his body's in the water. So we can go hop and see. No, it wasn't. Okay, so I was wrong about the body being underwater. That's okay, because one of the quests we did have to jump down here anyway. Because one of the quests, the Sully Blue's letter, this is the one I was talking about. I have no idea how you'd find this. Because look, there's a dude right here, and he has a tiny little letter next to him. You actually have to get this thing off the ground. So, I don't know how you would get that otherwise. Okay, so it does start a quest. The waterlogged and war-torn envelope dissolves in your hands, leaving you with a few pages of a letter in your grasp, written with painstaking care. The letter is addressed to a Mrs. Sarah Blue of Ironforge begins, my dear Sarah. I actually read online that this letter, which, actually I'm going to save it till we have some time to read. But I actually read that this quest is the letter, which seems really kind of well-written, emotional, dramatic for a World of Warcraft letter. And I thought so when I read it, which is what made me look it up. I think it's actually a call out to a real world Civil War time era letter written from a soldier on the front. Maybe with a couple little things changed, but I really think it's like an homage to the Civil War. So it'll be neat, and we'll read that if we can. So here, you have to come all the way over here, and I only know because of the other quest. Took me a lot of attempts. I really don't know. I actually couldn't do it. I couldn't jump. I'm hoping with her, you can't really do it without some kind of speed buff. But I'm hoping with her blink, we'll be able to make it. So this is the Dark Iron Bombardiers. I don't want to fight these guys. What I want to hopefully do is run my butt through this camp with some blinking and like I said, when there's like that pitch and yaw, I might be using those terms incorrectly. But when there's when there, oh, you know what? I think maybe you go like in a door. That's what it is. That's why it's elite. I think we're in here. You gotta fight your way down, but I think the mobs might be elite or something. Yeah, that's why. This is why this quest is an elite quest. We're gonna see if we can fight him. Darn it. So he's slow. I'm gonna see what I can do. Okay, so he got me one more good hit. And then we're gonna see. I don't know if I can beat him. Oh, he resisted my magic. Dang it. Yikes. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Try to do it. I don't know if it's gonna work. I wish I had more chill that I could put on him. I mean, it's getting some. There you go, that got all my mana. Okay, it's possible. But we're gonna see. I mean, I'm certainly... Oh, I was misclicking. This is what people have told me. They're like, bro, you gotta stop clicking. Look at this guy coming to help out. Okay, so homeboy came and helped. That's good. That's not really the issue, though. The issue is that we need this thing. There he is. Okay, so it was only one mob. There's only truly... Oh, there's another one right there. Bro. Maybe, can I sheep him? Okay, search the tiny dwarven corpse engraved in the helmet. You can clearly read Ebenezer Rustlock. Okay, we'll read that when we come out. Alright, so... Ow. So, that's cool. I don't... Where do you turn that in at? Maybe I have to be out of combat. Yeah, okay. So we'll let that... Yeah, okay, cool. Oh, so cool. I can go back and turn it in right there. So let's see what that quest said. Not that one. Report back to Rog Garmison and show him the parchment you found on Rustlock's corpse. It seems as though poor old Rustlock ran into a dark iron ambush. You notice a parchment next to his clenched fist. Report the grim news to Rog Garmison and show him what you found. So... Bumbling fools. My plans called for both bridges to be destroyed simultaneously, and what do you simple-minded thugs do? You only get half the job done and alert the entire alliance as to our intentions. Fools, I say. You have one chance to make amends for your actions. We have a backup cache of explosives in Arathi Highlands not far from the bridge. Finish the job if you value your measly lives, says Cam Deep Fury. Hopefully he doesn't want us to go back and kill more of those guys.
Great to meet you.
Any sign of old Rustlock, maybe?
Oh my, the news is great! Heavens, no. Poor Rustlock. 'Tis quite a tragedy indeed. We must not let his death pass in vain. This parchment you discovered indicates that Cam Deep Fury, the mastermind behind the original attack, arranged for a cache of explosives to be stashed just across the Thandol span in Arathi Highlands. If those explosives make it to the bridge, our major supply line to the north will be severed. The cache must be destroyed, adventurer. Return to me when your mission is complete. You're our only hope.
Okay, so it's not... It is not a, it's not an elite. So what we have to do is basically those guys we just ran past on that side when we fell in the water. We have to just destroy the cache in there. So that's good. We defeated the hard part. Now McCreel's Moonshine, that's going to be a little different. But what I'm tempted to go there myself. I'm not gonna. We'll do this cache first because once we pick up this quest, it's on a timer. So we will, you know, chill. Yeah, she's going there to do the same thing I just did, probably. Alright, so we have to destroy this cache of explosives, but this is not an elite quest. These mobs are a little bit tougher, but we should be able to slowly fight our way in and using sheep and whatnot. I mean, we ran by them without very much problems. Yeah, they're level 31 mobs, but there's the cache. So we just have to kind of... Yeah. So my plan here, I'm going to sheep this guy. See who runs. That's the guy who runs. Okay. So we're going to go get out of his line of sight here. And then, or not line of sight, but out of his range. Just get him going. Uh-oh. Okay. They resisted. Okay, so I don't know if that was the polymorph guy, if he managed to get out of that spell. I hope so, because otherwise it's kind of annoying. I like how he's throwing the bombs, but he can't quite reach me. Ow, that's just I said that he hit me with the bomb. What a little ball. Ow. Ow. Alright, cool. So we got a couple of those guys. I could use a drink, I think. I can always use a drink. We can call circumcised men 3 skins. We did it. Wow. Okay. Alright, so let's see what this girl can do. I was going to say, she's maybe going after the same one I am. She's going to get hit by the bombs at this if she stands right next to me. She's helping me kill him. Cool. And yeah, we might as well get this guy too. I'll help her too. Since she helped me, I'll help her. And then we're blowing up these things, which is what I think she just did. Okay, so we blew that bad boy up. I think that's maybe the only part of that quest. I don't know. The Sully Baloo letter we'll read, but that we actually have to go to Ironforge for, and we'll just portal our booties back there whenever we feel like it. To finish that quest off, we'll use one of my portals. Alright, so we're gonna go turn this in. I hope that's it. Basically, we're ending the threat of the bridge here. Kind of ending the Dark Iron threat in this area, sort of, kind of. We've sabotaged their plans, at least. I guess in the short term, if you live like in this weird universe where you can temporarily like halt plans. And if this is the end, then I'm confident we can beat the quest, because this, McCreel's Moonshine, is just a quest where we run, and then we'll teleport to Ironforge and turn the other one in. So if there's no other steps right now, we are finishing this zone today. Unless it's literally impossible to get that one quest.
The remaining bridge is saved! You have done a great service to King Magni and the people of Kaz-Modan. Now, if we can only hold out long enough for reinforcements to show, I ask of you one more small favor, adventurer. We await the reserves of Ironforge. However, Roggo has knowledge of an alliance camp to the north in Arathi Highlands at Refuge Point. Travel there and seek out Captain Niles. Ask the good captain if the alliance can spare some soldiers to help us reclaim Dunmoder and the Thandol Span.
Okay, so it's 2 stamina, 4. It's a better, for sure, pants.
See you soon.
But it is, mine were reinforced, so the actual armor is dropping. It was 38, and my other one was actually with the reinforcement 43. So I'm losing 5 points of armor. This was 2 agility, 2 stamina, 3 spirit. So I'm going up 8 points in stamina. And I'm trading my 3 and 3 for 4 intellect. So overall it's a 1 point increase, and I can't argue with it. A little bit of armor will not be as good as the extra points in stamina. Okay, so here's the thing. We've got to get into that open building right there. The only way is to jump from there. That's probably where that lady's going to go. Maybe we can watch her try, and if she tries and succeeds, great. And if she tries and fails, lesson learned. I wonder if we can even do it. I just kind of sort of want to see if she can do it with a blink. She freaking did it. I don't know what she was doing. I don't know if she blinked. I don't know. Her character was kind of glitching out. But she ran and jumped. She got up high. She ran and jumped. That's what you have to do. I've tried this multiple different ways with a rogue. It's not too bad, but it seemed like she went and got on the high ground. Over here? No, it just seemed like she did it regular. I forgot to press jump. I mean, I pressed jump, but I didn't press it fast enough. So that sucks. That really blows. Okay. Equal sign. This is the bad part, is because we have to come back all the way over there, walk all the way up. It's so annoying. Unless something is in the way. Also frees the caster from stuns and buttons. Can't believe I freaking missed the jump. She seemed to be fine. What's my cooldown on blink? Alright, so I mean that character just ran and did it first try and made it look easy. To me, this is a little tricky. You also pretty much, I don't know how they did it, because you pretty much, it's almost impossible to do without some sort of speed buff. Maybe she had a potion of speed? That's possible. So maybe they knew, they came equipped, they had a potion of speed, because she made it look easy. Or she was kind of weirdly glitching. Maybe she used a blink. My hope was that with blink we'd be able to do this. That's the hope. So I'm gonna run through these guys again. Guys actually aren't that bad, because they sit there and try to throw the bombs at you. So it actually makes them, as far as like trying to run away from mobs that are chasing you, it makes it pretty easy. Because look, yeah, they've already stopped. And because they stop and wait and try to throw their bomb, you're out of their range before they've fired off their second attempt. So that part's easy. So you have to run, and the goal here, if we want to line this up perfectly, which I did not last time, and you want to go from like point to point. Highest to the highest. What the heck? It teleported me straight down. Gosh dang it. I wonder if it's based on where I was like looking, because I was looking down. Maybe I have to have my camera up. I think that's how it works. Let's experiment while I'm swimming. If I teleport, I think that's what it is. It's based on your camera. I think you can actually change that setting, but no, that put me forward. So unless something's in the way, that's weird. All right, so I guess what I'll do is I'll trust in the jump this time, and only if I'm like looking like I'm gonna maybe miss the jump, then I'll try to use that. But this is the only thing that's gonna slow us down. Like I said, well, those quests were, but we're all good. This is really just a matter of me not sucking and not trying and failing. Because once we get this, I think we just have to run it up to South Shore, and we have the other thing on the way. We can go to Arathi. I don't think that I've done. Yeah, I haven't been to South Shore with this character. 20 yards is not. I mean, this has doesn't really say what the range is. It just says near the caster. For a frame of reference, this is only 33 yards. So 20 yards is actually pretty decent. Oh my goodness. Why? Now, I have always tried to get up on this, but maybe I'm wrong on that. I've always felt like, oh no! Gosh! Oh, man. Been a long day, guys. I really want to just finish this zone, which is why I'm pushing through, but I am tired. It was a coaching day. Also, that quest you could at least like see. You could see the dude and I could see you trying, but like finding that other one down there is such a weird rant. Like you would literally have to be exploring. The only good thing about it would be people like me, probably if you fell a bunch of times, you might explore. And then if you were exploring, you might see that guy's body. And if you hovered over the guy's body, you might see the wheel. That's the only way. Like, I can't think of any other, unless, because Sully Blue's a person, unless you get like a small clue by talking to his wife beforehand in Ironforge. Because the point is, you just bring this quest to Ironforge and give it to his wife. That's it. This letter. Which, when we're doing our run up to Arathi and South Shore for the Ale quest, we'll read the letter because it is good. Like I said, I think it might even be like a verbatim World War II like missive. So it's a pretty cool quest as far as like, hey, what is lore? Like game lore? Stay off my butt. Millie don't like that. But yeah, I had my day at work was fine. I had a, today did I have a meeting? I think I had a meeting. I don't remember if that was today or yesterday. Yeah, I had a meeting. Started my day with a meeting, and then did some paperwork, light reports. This is an easy week for me, honestly. If I'm being honest, I can. Okay. I'm gonna burn off the tip here. Look, she just missed. That's what I worry about. Like, I don't think you can make it. Not from that angle. So let's look at this quest. Now I'm worried. McCreel's Moonshine. Let's see if there's a McCreel's Moonshine as mage. So I already did all this research. There's no direct bridges. You have to come from the northwestern side of the big bridge. When you get closer, you might, if you go to the corner, there's a jagged extension that sticks out. Walk to the end of the jagged point. Night owls use the whisper if you really want to die. Okay. That's actually not the worst idea. Do not hearth or die. Yeah, I don't care. You can make it, but you can't res from the water. You can also do a character stuck and it will kill you and put you in a graveyard that's north. Oh. Yeah, see, this is just... See, so, yeah, what I did with my wife was she was a rogue. And she could use sprint. Actually, she couldn't. Her hand-eye coordination, she couldn't. I used sprint and got across. Druid cat form. See, now, Druid cat form I feel like would work because you have the speed buff. Slow fall. That's what you need to do. Oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. Use my slow fall spell. Genius! Because right there, that's a great thing. Druid cat points. Give yourself either dash, travel form, feline, swiftness. Hunters use aspects of the cheetah. Mages, slow fall. Paladins use pursuit of justice. Plus they have a passive speed buff anyway. Priests levitate, same kind of deal. Oh my gosh. And I have these things stocked. I knew I kept them for a reason. Oh my gosh. Yo, genius. Okay, thank you, person.
I had quite a bit of the old moonshine last night. Longbraid would have my head if he knew that I passed out during my watch. The noggin hurt something fierce. Felt as though a whole brigade of siege engines passed overhead. All that rumbling. Oh my, look at the time. I promised Brewmeister Bilger in South Shore that I'd repay my debt to him by sending some moonshine. But there are just 15 minutes left
55
before I'm
silver,
overdue.
that's pretty good.
Take him this batch, would you please? And hurry!
Alright, so that's why you have 15 minutes now to do this. One more time we're going to run up. And 15 minutes should give us enough time to drop that off and get the flight path as we go. Then make our way over to Hillspread. And then turn that in and get the flight path. And then we'll be done. Actually, no, then we'll have to hearth. So while we make the run, let's read old Sully Blue's letter. Dunmordra of the Wetlands. My dear Sarah, the indications are very strong that we shall move to take watch over the Thandol span in a few days. Lest I shall not be able to write to you again, I feel impelled to write a few lines that may fall into your eye when I shall be no more. Our assignment may be one of a few days' duration and full of pleasure, and it may be one of severe conflict and death to me. It is necessary that I should fall. If it is necessary that I should fall on the battlefield for the Alliance, I am ready. Excuse me. Went down the wrong pipe there. I have no misgivings about or lack of confidence in the cause in which I am engaged, and my courage does not halt or falter. I know how strongly the Kingdom of Ironforge leans on the triumph of the Alliance, and how great a debt we owe to those who went before us through the blood and suffering of the great wars, and I am willing. See how they kinda... You can already see that, the difference in the writing style. Perfectly willing to lay down all my joys in this life to help maintain this alliance and to pay that debt. Sarah, my love for you is deathless. It seems to bind me in mighty cables that nothing but omnipotence could break. And my love of kingdom comes over me like a strong wind and bears me irresistibly on with all these chains to the battlefield. The memories of all the blissful moments I have spent with you come creeping over me, and I feel most deeply grateful to the light and you that I have enjoyed them so long, and how hard it is for me to give them up and burn to ashes the hopes of future years, when we might still have lived and loved together and seen our sons grow up to honorable dwarfhood around us. I know I have but a few and small claims upon divine providence, but something whispers to me. Perhaps it is the wafted prayer of my little Edgar, that I shall return to my loved ones unharmed. If I do not, my dear Sarah, never forget how much I love you, and when my last breath escapes me on the battlefield, I shall whisper your name. Forgive my many faults and the many pains that I have caused you, how thoughtless, how foolish I have oftentimes been. How gladly would I wash out with my tears every little spot upon your happiness and struggle with all the misfortunes of this world to shield you and my dear children from harm. But I cannot. I must watch you from the twisting nether and hover near you while you buffet the storms with your precious little freight and wait with sad patience till we meet to part no more. But oh, Sarah, if the dead can come back to Azeroth and flit unseen around those they love, I shall always be near. You in the gladdest day and in the darkest night, amidst your happiest scenes and gloomiest hours, always, always. And if there be a soft breeze upon your cheeks, it shall be my breath. As the cool air fans your throbbing temple, it shall be my spirit passing by. Sarah, do not mourn me dead. Think I am gone and wait for thee, for we shall meet again. Sully. And homeboy is dead at the bottom of the lake there. So that's a very sweet letter, regardless from whence it came. And I can see why someone in the writing staff of Classic was like, I want to take this, like some Civil War buff or something. Alright, so we need to turn this in, plead to the Alliance.
What can I do for you?
We at Refuge Point hold one of the few remaining patches of Stromgod territory in the Iraqi Highlands, and we're losing ground. If you have words for me, then I hope they're good tidings.
My condolences go out to Longbraid and his brave soldiers. The news of the Thandol span tragedy and the fall of Dunmotor hangs heavy in my heart. But Stromgard has fallen, hence our presence here at Refuge Point. We are faced with retaking our own great city. Honor and duty require that we do not leave the Highlands until Stromgard raises the mighty banner of the King once again. I will send word to Longbraid that he is on his own. We are fighting a war...
Okay. So, she did that. We'll get the flight path and then we'll keep on moving because we can't fly to South Shore. We don't have the thing.
Hello. Where would you like to fly to?
But this is good because for her, this will start connecting her. So now she's got to move over. That took 5 of our 15 minutes to get there. So a slight detour and we'll just see what we can see. It's not the craziest. This is a kind of a small zone. Arathi is, and Hillspread kind of is too. Come on, really. So I'm hoping within 10 minutes we'll be okay. We're not going to be distracted by reading now, so keep that going. And I will jump right into turning that in when we can. But yeah, like I said, this is a smallish zone, and it's not the farthest little house. I'm going to keep spamming this as needed. I died, so these fell off. But yeah, so we're going to go and turn this one in, which is cool. And if you look, we were actually, dang, pretty good between all these little side quests. That's gotten us Wetlands fully done. We actually could have gained a little XP from that. I don't remember what her next zone is. I can't remember what I picked with her, but it's really not important. My book's kind of covered up because I've been playing some other things. Gloomhaven, some stuff like that. It's covered up with tabletop gaming materials. Which we did have a fun session this weekend. I had started a family session the week before with my son and my wife, and I made a couple NPCs to accompany them, and that way they could do a regular campaign, even though there's only the 2 of them and me DMing. And also, my son is, he knows, he plays a lot, he plays with his friends, but they kind of, you know, what's really common among the young people I've seen is like making homebrew stuff, and they just don't. They love the concept, the settings, the mobs, the idea of leveling up and magic and all that stuff, but they are there's something about the youth. They are not really beholden to. They do not like being beholden to all the rules. So boom, you make a homebrew campaign. Solves all that. So the other thing is, it's when you're, when you're 13, it's easier to be comfortable when you're with your peers, not your family, not your parents. Like, in some ways, my son's, you'll always be more comfortable with your family, but then in other ways, especially at that age, you're just not. I mean, and all of us have like, and I'm not taking credit for saying I invented this thought, but everybody has. Not only do we have different people, not only are we different people at home and out in the world, but we have. I contend that we are all different people based on who we're with, and some things don't change. Like I would probably not be likely to murder someone. Like, regardless of who I was around. Political leanings, religious beliefs, and stuff like that, they will change. But there's definitely, we are all different people. So it makes sense that when you're a kid, when you're 13, you're a different person. Around your parents than you are around your friends. So he is like, I've watched him, lurking around from the shadows. He's a heck of a DM. He's animated. He's live. He keeps his friends on task. Because that's the worst part about playing D&D with middling teenagers or whatever, is they don't want to stay on task. We have 5 minutes. But we're right there. I think I can afford to get this tin. Oh yeah, now we're gonna 1 point from iron. Girlfriend needs it. So when he played, and then my wife's problem is that she is cripplingly self-conscious. And as a child, that led to like, as a young woman, she was really shy. As she's gotten older, she's kind of come out of the other side. I would not really call her a shy person anymore. Instead, what she does is she gets very snippy and can be kind of nasty a little bit when she is uncomfortable. And she's smart, and so she's fine playing strategy games and stuff like that, but she's not comfortable with the role-playing aspect of D&D. So what she does instead is she's kind of snippy, and she takes offense really easily and stuff like that. So and then my son, what he will do is clam up. So the second he gets snipped at by mom, he'll clam up. So he's not as comfortable just being himself and taking risks like he would be with his friends. So I end up at a table with a son who's clamming up and a wife who's getting snippy, and I have to use every little bone of DMing I have in my body to push them forward and have fun. And despite all that, it's still successful. All right, we got 3.5 minutes to find this guy. I think he's maybe upstairs, but I really don't know. Please not. Crap. Could he be back here? Like down in the basement, maybe? Yes, thank goodness.
What's on your mind?
What's the good word, gnome?
Nothing like Foggy McCreel's moonshine to warm you up on a brisk day. And here I was thinking the little bugger was going to be overdue on his bills again. Thank you, friend.
Alright, so that's it. That quest is just really, in one way, it's a breadcrumb to take you up to South Shore, which is a more appropriate place to be questing in than Arathi is at this level. That's its main purpose, but it does give you 55 gold, which is pretty nice. We're going to get the flight path up here, and then we're going to port to Hearthstone, to Ironforge to turn in Sully Blue's letter, and that's going to be it. Then Millie's all done, and we are 40% officially done with every zone combo in the game. We could fly, but I'm going to spend the token that it would take to save us time on this episode. Okay, down in the military ward. Makes sense. And yeah, she's 80% of the way leveled up. Yeah, right here, it was weird today. Earlier today, I was on a different server, and this pond was just full of a line of, I don't know, 20 to 30 people. Mostly from the same guild. But they were like a single file line. I was like, is this like a photo op? Is this a very oddly specific pre-raid ritual? Is it all for a joke? Is it a lark? Is it... I don't know. There is one guild in my life that I was a part of for years. And I was an officer and organized, and we used to do stuff like that. And as we read in the World of Warcraft magazine, there's some cool stuff like that that can go on too.
Great to meet you.
You look as though you have travelled a great distance and seen much turmoil in your time, mage. These times we live in are trying on the soul. What news do you bring to me now?
You say you saw my Sully pinned beneath the icy waters? Say it isn't so. Let me read what he wrote.
Terrible.
Adventurer, I have but a small request to ask of you. Take this note I have prepared to our great monarch of Ironforge, King Magni Bronzebeard.
This isn't fair, my dearest Sully. Come back to me. No, Maleficent. Why did you bring me such news?
I have but a small request to ask of you. Take this note I have prepared to our great monarch of Ironforge, King Magni Bronzebeard. 'Tis a small task to ask of one such as yourself, someone who has shown great valor to the cause of the Alliance thus far.
It's pretty sad.
For me to go before the king in my grief-ridden state would not serve the purpose of my cause. Surely you understand.
The letter says, to my honorable king, 'tis not the place of a lowly soldier's wife to question the actions of great leaders such as yourself. The battles that rage across our lands are being fought to preserve the great life we know and love, from the cool waters of Loch Modan to the brisk snow-capped peaks of Dún Morag. But the wars we wage in the name of preservation are to come at what cost? Upon the death of which fallen soldier do we realize that the very life we strive to save is slipping from us on the battlefield? Under how many swords and axes? Oh, I went to the wrong side. Must we throw our future? Under how many feet of sodden soil must we bury our past? It is not the place of the lowly soldier's wife to ask such questions, yet I write to you now as the lowly soldier's widow. My husband might have been one soldier in the ranks of thousands to you. To me, he was the great Sully Baloo, father of my children, and my one partner in this life. Forgive me if my questions to you, our great leader, ring inappropriate, but the dead cannot ask these questions for themselves. Your loyal subject, Sarah Baloo. This is even though I've done this, it's like a Goosebumps giving me very sad quest.
What do you seek within the mountain?
So, you are Maleficent the Mage. News of your contributions to the Alliance has travelled quite far, you know. On what business do you come before me today?
It will take but a moment for me to peruse this letter. I do not expect good dwarves like Mrs. Baloo to understand why the travesties of war must be endured for the greater good of our people. The loss of her husband, and the loss of every dwarf that fights in the name of the Alliance. While I cannot bring her husband back from the twisting nether, I can pay tribute to him. I'm going to commission a memorial to Sully Baloo to be built by Grand Mason Mableston. Send word to him now, adventurer. You shall be custodian of my bidding.
So, the king's response is like, I mean, it says he carefully studies Sully Baloo's note and lets out a long, solemn sigh. So he's moved by it, as you would be. You know, it's actually funny, I was just talking to my wife about, she's reading Oppenheimer and about the atomic bomb, and I was literally doing the math on the bombs, the deaths at Hiroshima and Nagasaki versus the death per day and per month of World War II caused by the Nazis, and it's a calculus that I can imagine at some level the same thing that these fake leaders of Iron Forge are making.
Greetings. I am Tinkmaster.
No, that's Tinkmaster.
Overspark, and I am the chief architect for modern
Dang
no-risk
it.
engineering principles in the world today. It is my job to.
So,
I am Tinkmaster.
wrong one. He's actually right there. Yeah. So it was just. It's not a decision I would ever want to make myself, and my wife also read this other book that was talking about like human nature and the inability of the difficulty that humans have in making the rationally better decision if it causes you, like, let's say there's a dude who, you know, if you let him out, he will kill like 20 people, but you've got to murder him yourself right now. That's the only way to stop it. Like, obviously, you'd want to murder that dude, but...
So King Magni Bronzebeard himself sent you? My, this must be important. So our good king would like a memorial built in honor of a soldier named Sully Baloo? And you say the poor chap died during the Thandol Span tragedy? Bah! Will there ever be peace on Azeroth? Nonetheless, any commission from the king is of utmost importance. To build a truly epic and lasting peace, I want to work with one of the finest stones available. Travel to Darrow Hill in Hillsbrad and gather for me some Alterac granite.
Okay, so... Millie will do that part on another day.
See you soon.
It's not that hard to get it. I forgot about this step of the quest, but this will be something she picks up later after the fact because it's getting a little bit late. Maybe we'll do that when we turn in some of the quests or something like that on her. Yeah, we'll do that when we do the Nomergon turn-in quests. But all right, so we have another episode in the pipe 5x5, and that's a pretty good. A pretty cool quest line and a pretty cool end to it. So thank you everybody for watching, for listening, for tuning in. And I will see y'all next time on Lore of Warcraft.